Central on CBS.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
Good evening. A community is grieving alongside a Burke County middle schooler who lost both parents to COVID just a week apart. The family just moved into this area from Miami, and now Wrdw Menendez is living with his 90-year-old grandmother and 22-year-old sister.
Sloan O'Cone spoke with his sister, and I think it's hard to even begin to understand what this family is going through right now, Sloan.
They came here to start a new life. Their parents spent all of their money on a fixer-upper to build their family a brighter future in Burke County, but now their children are trying to figure out what that future looks like without their parents in it.
Honestly, I'm still completely in a state of shock. Never expected to lose my parents this young, and for them to lose their lives so young. They were both 49.
Her stepdad died in the hospital a week ago. Her mom just a few days after.
We had to say goodbye to my dad's intubated body through a FaceTime call, and I never got to say goodbye to my mom. And I didn't get to talk to her because she was on a BiPAP mask for oxygen, so she could only text me, and I only sent her a few texts before her phone died, and I completely lost contact with her. Yeah, and they were my best friends.
Now she's responsible for taking care of her 90-year-old grandmother and 13-year-old brother, Wrdw.
We've been here for like a month before this happened. When my mom found Waynesboro, Georgia, she fell in love with it, and she really wanted to give us a better life. And it really hurts that as soon as she got to her dream place, this all happened.
Kenya says they did everything right to stay safe. Wore masks, social distance, sanitized, but she says COVID found them anyway, and they waited too long to get vaccinated. Her mother had asthma and bad allergic reactions and worried about the vaccine. Her stepdad had just gotten his first dose of the vaccine.
A lot of people don't know if they want it or not, but believe me, you'll regret it if something happens, and please encourage your loved ones to get vaccinated.
Now the community is doing everything they can to help.
It just broke my heart. It really broke my heart. And so I said, I kept asking them, what can we do?
One of Wrdw's teachers is spearheading a fundraising campaign to help them get back to Miami, where they have more family support.
Just love your parents and appreciate every second that you're with them. Because I feel so lost without mine.
The middle school is accepting donations, and you can make those checks out to Burke County Middle School with LM in the memo line.
A heartbreaking story, and I know a lot of thoughts and prayers are going out to that family, and a community like Waynesboro and Burke County, they're going to pull together to help out.
Our hearts just go out to that family. Just that girl, the weight of the world on her shoulders.
It really is. Sloan, thank you again. Since the start of the pandemic, more than 21,000 Georgians have died, and the death toll continues to take a toll.
Also here today, a lot of rain all day long led to flooding in some areas, even causing the sewer to overflow on the corner of 13th Street and Reynolds in downtown Augusta a little bit earlier today, but it was coming down all day long, almost from the time you open the windows in the morning, Riley, until early this evening.
I know, it's almost just about 10 minutes.
New at 11, a helicopter with 3 people on board crashes into the Oconee National Forest in Monticello, Georgia. That crash involving a smaller chopper, the Robinson R-66. It happened around 8:30 this evening during a heavy rainstorm in central Georgia. All this is an area north of Macon. There's no word on if anyone survived. The National Transportation Safety Board says they'll be on the scene investigating and give us more updates as soon as they can.
The Barnwell Police Department is remembering one of their own tonight. Officer Stephen Jones died from COVID on Sunday. He was just 35 years old. There's a memorial now growing outside of the police department for Jones. He began his career in law enforcement as a deputy with the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office after serving as a Marine.
He was dedicated to his agency. He was dedicated to his co-workers. He was dedicated to his community. He gave 100% of everything he did. And he was well loved and respected by everybody here. And it was my pleasure to serve with him for the short amount of time that I was able to.
He leaves behind a wife and 5 children. The funeral will be this Saturday at the Macedonia Baptist Church in Blackville, South Carolina. It'll be from noon until 7. Unfortunately, Jones isn't the only first responder we've lost to COVID in the past month and a half. North Augusta officer Dustin Beasley passed away at the end of August after a long battle with COVID. Richmond County dispatcher Alex Brown died in early August. She was only 28 years old. Aiken Department of Public Safety, they lost Officer Kevin Simmons, and Louisville police officer Casey Anderson passed on the 21st of August, just a few days before Screven County said goodbye to firefighter Chris Clifton. And these are not veteran officers near retirement. They are young, the oldest just 40 in this group, the youngest 28. A Hampton County judge set bond for former South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh today. She issued a $20,000 personal recognizance bond, which means he doesn't have to pay any fees. He just signs a document promising to show up for his court date and heads back to rehab out of state. Murdaugh is facing charges for filing a false police report, insurance fraud, and conspiracy. Over Labor Day weekend, he said he was shot in the head while changing a tire on the side of the road. Police later arrested Curtis Smith, who's accused of being part of a plot with Murdaugh to kill Murdaugh to get an estimated $10 million in a life insurance payout for Murdaugh's remaining son. Police say Murdaugh hired Smith to kill him.
Violence he's ever been involved in is this, which was to have himself executed. So he's not a danger to the community. The only person he's a danger to is himself.
The murder of his wife and son is still under investigation with no suspects named so far.
The death of a well-known Aiken horse trainer now being investigated by the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office as a homicide. Martin Sternman was found dead at his home in Spartanburg County back in June, but the Spartanburg Sheriff says the killer could be in our area. There's a $25,000 reward for any information leading to the capture of that suspect. Call South Carolina Crime Stoppers with that information. A man is dead after a shooting at a gas station in Augusta. The Richmond County Coroner's Office says Dominic Brown died today after being shot at the short-stop convenience store on Milledgeville Road back on Monday. That store was hit by bullets with customers inside, and so was a car parked outside with children in it. Dominic Brown was the only person hit that day. He was taken to AU Medical in critical condition, where he was treated until he died today.
Charges have been dropped against a suspect in the murder of the former Waynesboro mayor's brother. 19-year-old Tommy Tennyson released from jail on Tuesday. He's been in jail for 6 months for a crime the district attorney says he did not commit. Someone shot Brian Carswell, who you see on your screen, on Spread Oak Road near West Quaker Road, which is about 7 miles northwest of Waynesboro. In March, both Tennyson and Darius Savage were charged in the murder. Savage does continue to face charges. A crash this afternoon in Trenton claimed the life of an Edgefield teenager. A truck with 2 teens was heading north when it crossed the center line and hit the trailer of a semi-truck. 18-year-old Timothy Fay, who was the driver of the pickup, was pronounced dead on the scene. The passenger's in the hospital right now, and we are working to find out how they're doing.
Grovetown's Director of Public Safety, Scott Wheatley, has resigned after 22 years of service. The Rennes, Georgia Chief of Police Jamie Kitchens will take his place. He'll start in about 3 weeks. Kitchens has about 24 years of experience in law enforcement.
Charleston County schools will not allow students in a classroom unless they are wearing a mask. That brand new policy begins Monday. Will go against the South Carolina state mask law. The school board chair says they will dip into reserve funds to help with funding gaps.
South Carolina hits a 50% vaccination rate among those who are eligible for it. In Georgia, 46% of people are fully vaccinated, while 53% have at least 1 dose in Georgia. New at 11, both Georgia and South Carolina attorney generals are 2 of 24 state attorney generals, sending a letter to the president today about vaccine mandates. The letter says they were concerned the mandate would go toward OSHA's emergency temporary standard. Worker shortage concerns are also mentioned as more people may not stay at their jobs due to that mandate.
In South Carolina, the Hospital Association says supplies of COVID-19 treatments like monoclonal antibodies are running out due to a nationwide shortage. Right now, 84% of hospital beds are full in South Carolina, a quarter of those patients having COVID. DHEC says facilities across the state have ordered 13,000 doses of the treatment, but now those orders are pending.
Yes, are some providers who are running short or are out of antibodies at this time, just because we haven't received additional shipments in the last week or so.
The federal government is sending just under 4,500 doses to South Carolina for DHEC to distribute to hospitals next week, but 4,500 is not enough. They needed 13,000. As for Georgia, the state will send the doses based on individual needs. Heads up if you plan to hit I-20 tonight or early tomorrow morning.